Welcome to Fanboy and Critic, our show where we go see new movies on theaters and give you our review.
Both the good and the bad. I'm Jordan Ortiz and I'll be your fanboy.
I'm Sam Wike-McClure. I'll be your critic. This week on Fanboy and Critic, we went to go see Twisters, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, starring Daisy Edgar-Jones, Glen Powell, and Anthony Ramos. This movie is not really a direct sequel or even a remake of the 90s Twisters, but it's about a series of storm chasers that are trying to track down and learn more about tornadoes. Lee Isaac Chung, he's revisiting this, I won't even call it a franchise. I don't know. He's revisiting this topic, this brand. We'll call it a brand. He's revisiting the brand. What is he doing well?
I think what he did well with is not continuing from Twister, the original. Okay. Like, yeah, steal the name, call it Twisters 2, whatever you want. But he didn't, and that's kind of what blew me by surprise. I thought it was going to be, like, paying so much homage to the original one, and then, no, it's a completely different, well, it's not a different story, but it has nothing to do with the past one. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I enjoyed, you know? You kind of take in, like, a lot of new characters, and what they did do from the original, there's always two sides to this story, right? There's always like the professionals and the non-professional storm chasers, and seeing that dynamic like twist into the plot, I mean, that's like my favorite part, because at the end of the day, you know, they need each other, and I think he did a good job with that, you know. I think Daisy Jones was really good playing her character. You know, she's really good with that accent. Yeah, I know it kind of kept disappearing.
It came in and out.
I don't know if it was because she was hiding it because of her character, which you'll soon.
But she didn't have it at the very beginning.
Yeah,
and then she like sort of hid her past, and it was still not there. But then she stopped hiding her past, and it didn't even come back. It just emerged for the very first time.
But I'm only saying that based because I know she actually has a British accent when she's British.
I don't know.
I think she's British.
Oh, I would not surprise me, but
yeah, so she's British. So that's the only reason I'm saying like that accent's pretty good for someone that doesn't have that accent. You know who stole it from me though?
Anthony Ramos?
No.
Oh,
his actor was kind of lame.
What? I love Anthony Ramos.
I do. He's great.
He's got a good vibe.
No.
Glen Powell.
Glen Powell, yeah.
Well, you can't steal it. He's the main character. How is he stealing it?
Well, yeah, I guess he is the main character, but he's just good, man. He's just good at playing that, like, confident guy. Like, every movie he's in, I want to be him.
Those fireworks?
Yes, ma'am.
But you know what? The CGI was great. I thought the tornadoes were really good. The storms, the hail, the rain, and all that. That all looked really good, and I thought that was great. And, like, just the idea, I think they brought it up a notch in terms of, like, seeing those two twisters or whatever you want.
The twins?
We got twins! Twins!
That was kind of cool. Like, I don't think that was in the original one.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So, like, they definitely brought it up a notch with, like, the tornadoes in this one, which was really crazy. But, you know, what's really cool? I think there was a lot of, like, tips and, like, self-awareness for, like, actual safety. Like, I think when they mentioned, like, don't go over the underpass or whatever, I think that's, like, a real thing. Like, do not do that. And I don't know if you knew this, but this was me just, like, kind of reading into the movie before. All the other storm chasers were real storm chasers around there. Like,
oh, really?
Full on legit, yeah. And I thought that was really cool that, I mean, like, no one really looks into these guys, and, like, to have them on film and, like...
Wait, the ones in his, like, group of people, or the ones that are just like, the extras?
The extras, yeah. So I thought that was really cool. And, you know, the one main thing I really liked, in this day and age of so much technology... they still can't figure out like tornadoes, which is crazy because that's what they're trying to do in the first one, and like 20-30 years later they still haven't figured it out. Like, it's just crazy how like we can't predict.
You can't stop Mother Nature.
Yeah, it's Mother Nature. And you know, I'm just a sucker for like natural disaster movies. And the other thing I want to include is I think the subplot or the romance between them, I think they did a really good job of that. It was just banter all the way through, and there wasn't like anything cliche that you would see in any other movie where this kind of romance was there, and that's something I enjoyed too. It was a little different. It wasn't cliche.
It never felt cliche, and it never felt unearned, which I feel like a lot of these movies nowadays, it's just very unearned. Just like, oh, now they're gonna kiss.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, they're actually growing together and understanding each other and being more vulnerable. What's this? I don't have a ton of negative things to say about it. We talked about this leaving, but it's not a spoiler to say Glen Powell's character is a storm chaser, but he's like the renegade storm chaser.
The YouTuber.
Yeah, who runs a YouTube channel. What I didn't like about the YouTube part and specifically was that he was streaming the storm chasing from his iPhone, but was like IMAX quality stream because they cut to like the stream point of view.
Yeah, that's like perfect.
It was streaming in the middle of a tornado with an iPhone and getting like IMAX quality video out of it, and it really, I don't know why that took me out of it so much. I was so taken out of that moment.
I mean, there was a lot of unrealistic moments now that I think about.
Yeah.
That.
I mean, there's a lot of unreal. I mean, on top of the fact that it takes place over 1 week in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And every single day, like a tornado hits right where they are.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, we gotta go 30 miles this way to catch a tornado. It's like, oh no, we're at our motel and we're looking out. There's gonna be a tornado over there. There's gonna be a tornado over there. That felt, maybe that is realistic. I don't know. I don't live in Oklahoma. I don't know if like that's a thing. I mean, I know that they get a substantial amount of tornadoes every summer, but it felt kind of weird. I don't know. It was kind of predictable, which usually I would say is a bad thing, but I think it was just such a solid story. Like, it was just good storytelling.
Yeah.
That it was just like, okay, we know what's going to happen, but I don't care that I know what's going to happen. This movie is not trying to give me a twist. But pun intended.
Twisters.
Yes, twisters.
If you didn't get it.
All right, Jay.
Off to the ratings?
No, you gotta convince the critics to go see this one.
I have to really convince you guys?
You have to.
Critics.
I don't know what are you complaining about. I gotta convince people not to go see this movie.
Critics. When's the last time we got a natural disaster movie?
That's true.
That's what I asked myself. And for it to be, another version of Twister, why not? Go check it out.
Fanboys, do you really need to see Glen Powell play another cocky, semi-jerk sort of character without any sort of nuance to him? He really didn't become vulnerable in this movie, and yet we all just love the cocky renegade guy.
Yeah.
And Daisy Edgar-Jones, honestly, she had more character than most female leads, so I can't really knock her. But there was times where I felt like she was kind of flat. Oh, you know what? Here's why you shouldn't watch it, because they didn't give Anthony Ramos enough lines. He should have been in more of it. Okay, Jay, now on to the ratings.
I haven't touched this one in a while, but I am amazed. I am amazed at this movie. I mean, I would consider it a remake. Is it a remake?
It's not exactly a remake.
Yeah, but it's along the lines.
Reimagining.
Yeah, reimagining. But it's along the lines, and with remakes these days, you either get the exact same thing, but this was different. It was good. It was good. It was something I needed.
It's not a Disney live action remake. You're not getting the exact same movie.
It's not the exact same movie, but it was something I needed. I don't know. Like I said, when was the last time we got a natural disaster movie like this? And which one it was? It was the Hurricane Heist, which was cool too, man. I was a fan of that, but it didn't get good ratings. But yeah, I think I'm amazed. I'm amazed that they were able to get people to watch this. I feel like no one's interested in this stuff.
I think everybody should be interested. I think it's gonna do well. Yeah. I hope it does well. This is the type of movie we don't get anymore, which I think is gonna make a comeback. Joseph Willems did a great YouTube video on the comeback of these type of movies where we're just going for solid storytelling that doesn't have to be a $500 million blockbuster. Yeah. You can't hit it out of the park that many times in a year. People don't want that.
Yeah.
So I think this is what's coming in the future of movies, and I'm excited for it. I think this was a solid movie. That's why I'm also at an amazed.
Yeah.
I want to pitch one term for you, though. I don't know. We didn't really settle on what to even call this. I think this is a rebranding.
A rebranding?
A rebranding of...
I'd have to agree. There's no other term. they rebranded Twister to Twisters.
Thanks for watching, Fanboys and Critics. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Go check out our merch. Go check out our second channel, which all the Fanboy and Critic stuff is going to migrate over there eventually. And come back to us next week when we go see Deadpool versus Wolverine.
And we'll see you for the next review.
How did you feel about like the climax of the story? The final scenes?
I kind of dozed off towards the end, okay? This kind of happens when it's the biggest part of the movie and the action's about to hit. For some reason, my eyes want to shut.
You can't handle it. Your brain shuts down.
Yeah.